So I have to say, the other night, the Democrats engaged in one of the most diabolical things I've ever seen in politics. And that sounds like hyperbole, but it's not. So what they did is, at the same time the DNC was going on in Chicago, and of course the arena was packed, at the exact same time, Kamala and Tim Walz went to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and did a separate rally there at the same time the DNC was going on, right? So this was the night Michelle Obama spoke, Barack Obama spoke, Bernie Sanders spoke. So they had all these people speaking, again, packed, energy was through the roof, etc. But at the same time that was going on, Kamala and Tim Walz were giving a speech in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Now, if that sounds familiar, they were in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, specifically so they can go to the same venue where the Republicans just had the RNC. And they fucking packed the place. They packed it. So you have two completely jam-packed stadiums at the same time. Oh, that's so diabolical. That is just rubbing fucking salt in the wound of Trump, who's currently flailing and making an ass of himself. Can't go a day without coming up with a new idiotic strategy which shoots himself in the dick. Right? And one day, she's Indian. One day, she turned into a black person. Those crowds are fake. She's got fake crowds. She's cheating. She has fake crowds. They're using AI for her crowds. Every day, worse. And now look, keep it real. Some of the rallies, they're getting a little light on the Trump side. Now, he lies and says, oh, that's not true at all. We got the biggest rallies. I got the biggest crowds of anybody ever. And they never talk about it. Look, I've seen a million times Trump has had giant packed rallies. But recently, there were a few that were a little, right? And so, again, this is playing into all of his insecurities. At the same time the DNC was going on, they went to Milwaukee where the RNC had their thing and packed that same fucking stadium full. But that's not all. They also did a little wink and a nod and a little bit of trolling of the big beefy wet boy himself. Here's Tim Walz sort of addressing the elephant in the room. Here we go.
Not only do we have massive energy at our convention, we got a hell of a lot more energy at where they had their convention right here. So, this. Yeah. Oh, that one guy's going to be so sad tonight. So sad. So sad. Look.
He did the hand thing. For the first time in my life, Democrats are just fucking letting loose and having fun, bro. For the first time in my life, you're getting like, this is brutal. They're killing them. And it all started with the one line, right? They're weird. That's all it took. And then the poll numbers were like a fucking rocket. And by the way, I love all the stories that I see. So I see these Republican accounts on Twitter. They're all like, this story's devastating. This story's devastating for Tim Walz. He's not going to last the weekend. He's going to drop out. He's not going to make it. This is horrible for him. I even saw some like Politico asshole, some fucking like centrist journalist who was like, day after day, new things come on Tim Walz. And it's really maybe showing that the fast vetting wasn't good enough. And we're going to have problems in the future with Tim Walz. I hear all these people yelping and whining and bitching and moaning. And then I go look at the polls, which were just done like last week. And it's like Tim Walz in North Carolina, plus 14. In this next state, plus 7, plus 6, plus 9, plus 4. He's loved everywhere. He's not underwater in any... Wait, let me repeat that. He is not underwater in any state. Not a single one. Then you go look at JD. It's like minus 12, minus 14, like minus 18. Everywhere just hated. Literally more disliked. And this is proven in the data. Ed Germentum was talking about this the other day. More disliked than Sarah Palin. Sarah Palin at her most unpopular was like minus 4. This dude is double-digit Ingtons, bro. Double-digit skis. What are we talking about here? So I love all the fucking concern. Oh, this guy, this is going to be a problem. And then every poll is like, this guy is one of the most beloved politicians in the entire fucking country. Right? They're flailing. They got nothing. You see the new line of attack? It's like, Tim Walz implied that him and his wife used IVF in order to have their daughter, but that's actually not true. And then you read the specifics, and it's like they used whatever the precursor procedure is to IVF, which is the last thing you try before you do IVF, and they did that, and it worked. And it's like, you're gonna try to fuck this dude over on some technicality-ass bullshit? This is just like what they do with the bullshit stolen valor nonsense. Guys, you are pathetic. And I see JD Vance all, he's a liar. He's lying. From the guy who just said, I support a $5,000 child tax credit. They just had a vote on the child tax credit in the Senate. 44 Republicans voted against it, and JD Vance didn't even bother showing the fuck up. So you say you support it, then why weren't you there to vote in favor of the extended child tax credit? That's right, because you're full of fucking shit. You're a liar. You're the liar. And so now what are Democrats doing? They're rubbing it in, bro. They're tap dancing on the grave of the Republicans right now. Packing 2 stadiums at once, including the RNC building, and then mocking Trump in the process. Mocking them. We got more energy here than you did when you were here. And when you were here, you only had one thing going on. We got 2 fucking arenas packed, bitch. And he's good. This one guy's going to be sad. He's going to be sad. He did the hand motion and everything. This is fucking great, bro. And look, bottom line is this. This is the bottom line. You guys know what it takes to win me over, right? As somebody who follows politics for a living and cares first and foremost about policy. What it takes to win me over is like, okay, show me that you're not just talk the talk, that you also walk the walk, okay? And then when it comes to Tim Walz, he fucking did it. So in a sense, he gets a lot more leeway than any other politician. If another politician does something goofy or cheesy or cringe or whatever, I might have a little more fun and be like, haha, fucking prick or whatever. With him, he gets so much more grace. Why? Because he's already proven to me he has the record. He did universal free school breakfast for kids. He did universal free school lunch for kids. He did 12 weeks paid family leave and 12 weeks paid sick leave. He did red flag laws for guns and universal background checks for guns. He raised the pay for nursing home workers by doing sectoral bargaining. He increased K-12 school funding by $2.2 billion. He did free college for middle-class families. If you have that record, then I'm going to be a warrior for you. I'm a Walz warrior, right? But bottom line, I don't even need to be that. Because everybody else that are against him is just shooting themselves in the dick. And now, as I said, here you have the Democrats having fun with it. They're having fun. They're rubbing it in. I mean, you guys saw the speeches the other night, Michelle Obama and Barack Obama. I've never seen them so aggressive against Trump, ever. I mean, just brutal. And this is what happens when they take the gloves off. This is what happens when instead of like a hope and change slogan, you change to when we fight, we win. And then you start fighting. And then your poll numbers shoot up. This is what happens. Feels good, don't it? Feels fucking good, don't it? Well, there you go. So there's a lesson in this. The lesson is basically a validation of everything we've said every step of the way. Number one, if you're the real deal on policy, people are going to love you. Number two, make your fucking argument, bro. Stand on business. Don't run away from your shadow. Don't like, oh, can we please do bipartisanship and civility? Can we please hold hands and work something out? I'd really appreciate it if we did that. Every time that happens, Democrats get their fucking eye spit and they lose the elections. Now, it's a little bit of swagger. And the results are astonishing. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.